Do you feel like you give so much in your relationships? You show up, you help, you're supportive, but yet somehow it just still doesn't feel like it's enough? You still feel empty and maybe a little frustrated or resentful? You might be familiar with this overgiving behavior as being referred to as the archetype of the super helper. But here's what I want you to know that you may not know. What I'm going to show you in this episode is something deeper, because this isn't just about overgiving. It's a pattern that's actually happening inside of you. And it's between two parts of you. And until you see that, those feelings don't really change. If you're someone who is already self-aware and you're committed to showing up more consciously in your relationships so that they can become a place of growth and connection, not a repeat of your past painful experiences, and yet you feel a tension in your body underneath the need to be helpful, and you still don't understand why you feel so empty and unappreciated, and you are ready for a change, then this episode is definitely for you. If we haven't met, I'm Judy Katz. I'm a transformational certified coach and a spiritual mentor. And for over 30 years, I've worked with high-achieving women to transform their subconscious survival patterns by helping them to understand and transform what's really happening within their mind, body, and emotions. This transformation has provided them the ability to move out of these reactive cycles that can turn into conflict. And they come into a more conscious and empowered way of relating, both in their personal and in their business relationships. So here's what's really happening when you're just trying to be helpful, and yet you're not getting the appreciation that you might expect, or the other person might be taking offense and seeing your helping as overstepping. Well, what's happening is that a deeper part of you has taken over and is trying to be helpful enough so it can feel like you are good enough. That you're good enough to be loved, to be valued, and to be wanted. Unfortunately, that part of you can be more hurtful than helpful in your relationships. And as I mentioned earlier, I refer to this part of you as the super helper. And even if you've heard about this archetype before, I want to show you something different. Because this isn't just a pattern of behavior that can actually be changed with different behavior. It's two parts of you that are working together, and they're in a symbiotic relationship. And when you can see that, everything begins to change. Think back to the movie The Wizard of Oz, and remember that make-believe great wizard that was in front of the curtain, the one that was interacting with the people. Well, this is the part of you that's overhelping. But behind the curtain is that part of you that's afraid to be seen. And this is the part that when you were very young, didn't get the support or the recognition or the feeling of being truly valued. And because of that, you came to believe that you're not good enough, or you don't really matter. Maybe no one wants or values you. And that's the part of you that's still here. So I invite you to see if you can feel that part of you, even just a little, the one that's still waiting to feel valued and appreciated, to feel cared for and protected and nurtured. And these beliefs are what give rise to those difficult emotions like sadness and shame or fear, not because something's wrong with you, but because your needs were important and real and valid and they were never met. So your survival system created the super helper. And this part of you, like the make-believe great wizard, emerges trying to get your needs met through overgiving. Well, your super helper believes that if I just give enough, then they won't reject me. If I'm always there for other people, maybe they'll appreciate me. Or if I'm really needed, then I'm going to be valued and wanted. So see if you can relate with any of those thoughts. But here's the deeper truth. There's no amount of giving to others that can fill what that part of you is still needing. And this is why you notice that there's still a kind of emptiness, a longing, a quiet ache in your body that giving can never satisfy. And the other person may not realize that your giving is really an attempt to satisfy an unmet need. So they'll just take what you're giving without even knowing why it's so important for you to be appreciated and acknowledged. And they won't understand your underlying intentions when they feel that you're helping them, well, is overstepping, or you're seeing them incapable in some way. So think of a moment when you gave more than you wanted to, not just about what you did, but what you were hoping to feel. And you very likely didn't even realize that you were hoping to be appreciated until you weren't, or that your helping was a problem until the other person took offense. I once worked with a client who would step in and she'd take over her employees' work whenever things got really hectic. And what she didn't realize was that it made her employee feel very incapable. You see, the shifts begins not by giving less, not by forcing yourself to stop, but by becoming aware of what you're trying to receive through your giving. You see, the super helper isn't the problem. It's trying to help the part of you that's afraid to be seen, yet is so desperately needs to be. It's trying to get a need met that only you can fulfill. And the way you do that is by changing your core belief that you're not good enough. And until you give yourself permission to have your needs met from a place of knowing that you are inherently worthy and lovable without having to do anything, nothing will change. The truth is, you knew what you needed when you were young, and you know what you need today. You can trust that inner knowing to guide you to your deeper truth. You know, you are a divine being having a human experience, and your human needs are real and valid. So if you recognize this pattern in yourself and you would like to experience a transformation of your super helper, I'm not good enough pattern, into the truth that you are worthy and good enough without doing anything, I've created a guided meditation to help you gently reconnect and transform that part of you that's behind the curtain, so that you'll no longer try to receive your needs through overgiving. Giving can now become a heartfelt action that's fulfilling in and of itself, an act that promotes connection rather than conflict. And I've placed the link to access meditation in the title description below. So in my next episode within my relationship series, I'm going to take you deeper into the part of you that has great difficulty in asking for help with what you want and need. See, there are beliefs that you may not be aware of that are stopping you cold from asking and receiving the help that you need. So finally, if my work resonates with you, I invite you to please subscribe and to continue this journey with me in becoming your truest, most powerful, and loving self. So until then, bye for now.